So it was the perfect time for that. Like gross out was becoming a thing. And it did all these new and innovative things, but really in reality, a lot of it was actually harkening back to actually very old stuff.
It was
And
straight up parody and satire of classic cartoons,
right, that was
which went
lost.
over our heads.
That was lost on just about everybody, but that's where,
But it worked on its own, which is what great satire and parody should do. It needs to
exactly.
work in and of itself. Keep going.
Exactly. So then he does adult party cartoon. And an adult party cartoon, Ren and Stimpy are literal gay guys who fuck each other in the butt. Like Stimpy's a bottom, Ren is a top. And while on paper that sounds like, oh, that could be very funny, then you watch it and you're like, oh God. And it's almost, I feel like it's similar to like when Star Wars nerds are like, George Lucas raped my childhood. Like there's a certain innocence lost there and a certain like, oh fuck, maybe it almost ruins the original. It's like this close. It's like
not for me.
I'm with you, but it's like it's delicate. It's a delicate balancing. And I'm not one of these guys too who's like hates the show after John left. I like all of the original run of Ren and Stimpy. Bob Camp, all that. I like it all. But he then says, like, no, they were gay guys all along. These guys were always gay. I the subtext was they were butt fucking each other. And then you're like, I don't think that's true. I think you wanted to make them gay guys because you got fucked by a children's cartoon network.
No, I disagree with that.
Okay.
Look here. So, okay, what happened is this. Okay, so he's getting strung along by executives. He hates the writer's room. So he creates a new system, a new cartoon creating system where they cut out the writer's room and the top-down HR department executive top-down control. And the cartoonist on the floor is the one in charge again. The cartoonist, the animator, is intimately involved with what these characters need to be portraying. And that is what creates this flourishing new era of cartooning briefly, which emulates what was happening in the 1920s with the early Bob Clampett style cartoons in the Looney Tunes era and stuff like that, right? This is when you also didn't have writers' rooms, just a couple of fucking guys in suits smoking cigarettes making cartoons. So he brought that back in the 80s or late 90s, which came off of, what's the fucking guy again? The Mighty Mouse?
Ralph Bakshi.
Ralph Bakshi off of that guy, which was also sort of an edgy guy. Now then, there's certain examples even where he tried to be completely surrealist and wacky, like in Stimpy's invention. Stimpy is soldering like a machine, and he pulls in a
beaver.
What is it?
A beaver.
A beaver as a drill, like tack, 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 tack. And then he pulls in a duck, and the duck goes whack, whack, whack. Now, the writer's room told him the duck doesn't make any sense. It needs to be a woodpecker because then it makes sense. And he's like, no, the point is this needs to be surreal nonsense. So that's why, yes, we set up first there's an animal, which sort of make even the fucking beaver is nonsense. A beaver soldering a fucking, it's supposed to be nonsensical. And then he pulls in a duck. Now, whether you think this is funny or not is besides the point, okay?
It's very funny on the cartoon.
Okay, but the executives wanted him to make it into a woodpecker. Now, what he did is this. In the storyboards, he just quickly made the beak of the duck pointy just to have it be signed off by the execs. And then he just, when they sent it to Korea or whatever, they just made it into a duck, okay? Because then it would be too late to change it.
Right.
But those are the battles he was having. Now, then you have the whole interrelation between Ren and Stimpy. And I've explained this on one of my streams too. The stories sort of write themselves. So you have Stimpy is this sack, is this pillow, this doofus retard pillow, basically, who is so fat he doesn't feel anything, and he only has one nerve ending in the middle of his body, and he's just happy all the time. But it's more like a gleeful, ignorant, retarded happy.
Yeah.
And then you have Ren, who's this angry little jittery chihuahua. He's always fucking mad. and then he lets out his he basically loves his anger secretly.
And these are gay fucking queers are like fucking each other up.
No.
Oh, okay.
That's what the media did. Okay, so the media was like, "Are they gay?" This is the '90s. Okay, people always think, "Oh, it was so great in the '90s." That's where shit started to really go downhill when it comes. That's where all the first gay kisses were already happening.
They did it to Bert and Ernie
fucking
too.
Roseanne. They were butt fucking in Will Smith Fresh Prince. Everybody was already butt fucking. Okay, so in the media and the Vogue magazines, they were going, "Are they a gay couple?" So then, when eventually he got the chance to go off the chains to make this for Spike TV or whatever it was, he basically kind of was led into that by the culture at the time to make them gay, sort of. Because it was like, this is Ren and Stimpy, adult party cartoon. And since that narrative was already spun, where they might be gay, he kind of leaned into that way further, okay? Now, was it funny? No, it became gross and disgusting. Now, that's not the only aspect of that cartoon that was so fucking disgusting. Like Ren and Stimpy are washing tits and sucking on titties and they're coming and shitting and pissing. It's like too far, okay? That stuff used to be implied.
That's the stuff that young red-blooded Americans want to see, Sven.
Yeah. It turns out not so much. The funny part was riding it all to the edge, and then you could fill in the blanks, and that made it so much more uneasy and weird and creepy and exciting. When you just fill in the blanks, it's dirty and gross.
You know what's interesting? Nobody's ever pointed this out, at least that I've seen, is like that main art you always see for Ren and Stimpy adult party cartoon, that line art one with the like offset colors. It's like blue. You know what I'm talking about?
Like the little glass.
It's got the little martini glass, and it's got like a cigarette or a cigar or so. It's like, in order to tell you that it's for adults, they've got booze and tobacco. It's like, that should have been the clue. The clue was that like, this is not good. This is never going to be good. And the
animation was really good. Still, the animation was probably peak.
Before he started using Flash for everything. Well, you know, Boo Boo Runs Wild.
Okay, listen. Here's the thing. We should do this. I need to take a really quick piss break.
Okay.
We should watch, and I know you're aware of this, when John Kay jumped a shark and he did that Simpsons intro animation.
I do know what you're talking about. We can watch that.
Can we watch that? Because that's the worst thing.
We can watch it. And guys, when Sven's done peeing and when we're done talking about cartoons from when we were babies, we're going to watch Win by Two, the thing you really came here for.
Dude, everybody's loving this fucking in the chat.
I'm pretty sure the chat is just arguing with Comedy Shaman, but I don't care. This is what I wanted you on the show for. So go take your pee-pee.
Going, hell yeah.
Go take your pee-pee. We'll be right back after this.
All right.
Can you say Podawful is the best show on the internet?
Very Carvel Live is the best show on the internet.
How about this? Snap to, sit up straight, and say, hey, I'm Perry Caravello, and I think Podawful is the best show on the internet.
Look, all right, I'll be nice and I'll say I think Podawful is the best show on the internet. But I really think my show is the best show on the internet. But when I snap out of this bunk, is when my show is the best show on the internet.
Nah, not tonight. Far from the best show tonight.
Not tonight. Exactly. Tonight, no good.
Is this a cult if I ever heard one? Yes, it is. It's a cult. I mean, it's the cult of cult.